Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for another The Sims 4 Werewolves Gamepack speed build because I wanted to build a trailer park. This is a 40 by 30 lot and this lot is called the Collective Cabin, and I decided to turn it into a trailer park. I always wanted to build one, and I know when Strangerville came out back then it was kind of a thing, but I never built one, so I decided to build a Werewolf trailer park. So I used lots of objects from the new pack and I made it look very run down just so it has the vibe of the new pack, and it's of course just perfect for werewolves. They can just have like their own little community there, and you can here see how I'm working on the first one. Before I started to build and record, I took a look at debug, like probably for 30 minutes, and I was looking for different objects that I could use. And you can see on the left side that I placed some random objects over there just so I wouldn't have to look through debug while I was building and recording. So this is why there are lots of random objects on the left side, but I'm not going to use all of them. And you can see that there are some reels below my trailer. This is a base game debug object, and I was looking for this for the longest time. For some reason I thought it's part of Strangerville, probably because of the whole trailer park thing in the pack, but it was in the base game. So I really had to look for this object for like 10 minutes or something. And yeah, I just placed this object on the ground, and what I did was I used the same trick that I'm always using for bridges, for example. So I built a room on the ground, I built a floor piece on top, and then deleted the room, and then I had my floating floor piece. I used the arrows to bring it on the correct level, and that's it. I then just started to build the house, and this way the trailer's kind of sitting on top of these wheels, and I just built the house. And I used some regular stairs, the ones from the new pack, to just connect my floating floor piece and the trailer to the ground. And I had no idea for the longest time that you don't even need a patio or like a floor piece in front of the door. You can literally just use stairs and connect them to the door. Like you can see it here when you look at the front door of this trailer. I just placed these stairs and it's working out perfectly fine. And I just decorated this. I wanted to have this trailer park vibe. Also, I built like a camping vibe for some reason, but I wanted to include all kinds of different things. I wanted to have some type of front yard. I used the new bush from the pack, which is a toilet, and I also used the new telescope, which is amazing. I love the telescope. We finally have a normal sized telescope, and you can see that I placed it on top of the trailer, and I'm going to build a ladder so the Sims are able to access this area. You probably already saw that at the very beginning of the video, so I thought that this is like a nice little area that your Sims can explore and they can use the telescope. And I wanted this to look very overgrown, not well maintained, the same vibe as my other werewolves builds. So I used lots of bushes from debug, and they are just amazing. And these bushes from this pack, the debug bushes, they're just perfect for this very overgrown look. So even if you want to build something that is not related to the werewolves pack, but if you want to have this overgrown look, I can totally recommend using the bushes from this pack. They're just perfect. In the past, whenever I wanted to create something really overgrown, it was really difficult to really create this look. I had to combine different bushes, but these are just perfect. You just randomly place them and it looks just the way it's supposed to look. I love them. I really like them. Debug is great in general, but these bushes in the werewolves pack debug did not disappoint. I wanted to incorporate some brighter colors, like the yellow you can see here, and I also wanted to place some astroturf just so I have this fake plastic look. So I wanted to have this contrast of lots of really rundown, broken objects. Everything looks a bit dirty, and I mean that's just the vibe of the pack, and I wanted to have this contrast and use the astroturf. I think this makes this build so cool. The astroturf is from Strangerville. It can be found in debug, and when you place it, I would recommend to hold down Alt on your keyboard so you can really place it right next to each other, because when you just place it on the ground there will be a tiny gap in between the individual astroturf pieces, and then it's not looking perfect. So you really have to be really particular when you place the astroturf. And here I'm working on the second trailer. I decided to build 3 trailers in total. I wanted to have the biggest one in the center, kind of the eye catcher. And then I wanted to build 2 trailers diagonally, and this is the second one. For this one, I was going for a blue color. I wanted to have a combination of a pop of color once again, but also these really brown rundown swatches from the new pack. And I just wanted this to look really cool. And I had to build the stairs this way because we can't place stairs diagonally. So I had to figure out a way to make it look realistic and still like a trailer in a way. So that's what I did. I was trying to be a bit random with placing objects. Like I wanted to have some bushes below this patio area, so it looks really overgrown once again, not well maintained. And I then just placed some random chairs up there so the Sims could just hang out up there. And I think this is what makes it look so realistic, like not really being too particular with where you're placing stuff. And this is still so new to me. Like this pack has made me explore a new side of me when it comes to building, because it's so far away from my usual style. And I mean, in the past I did dive into different styles and try to explore different things, but I feel like usually this was a bit exhausting. It didn't feel natural, and it was sometimes a bit difficult, like a fun challenge, but it didn't come easy. But here in this case, I'm just having the best time. Who would have thought that I would be like having fun building some rundown trailer parks or werewolf layers? I don't know, it's just the best thing ever. And I just hope that in the future we will get some more really surprising parks that have like a totally different vibe. But I have to say, and I said this in the past, no matter if you're into werewolves or into modern architecture, into fantasy builds, like it doesn't matter. In my opinion, the best parks when it comes to building are the ones which have a really specific style already, like when it comes to the theme of the pack and built by, so you instantly know what you are going to do. Like here in this case, it's pretty clear werewolves run down, so you can really explore this and you can use the objects this way. The same for island living, for example, really tropical, the ocean, the beach, and you have all these objects which match the world and the theme perfectly. And this is always really fun and easy, and it's just so amazing. You can just use all the new objects and a build just happens in front of your eyes basically. And I feel like this is also the case here. So it's not really about the style probably, but the objects are amazing. There's a certain vibe and theme, and I'm just really excited that we finally got a game pack again and not just a kit. I mean, some kits are really, really cool, just like Courtyard Oasis, but I don't know. I was just hoping for something bigger, more exciting, and then we got this amazing pack. But of course, it's also super fun to just repurpose objects from other pack and to just create something that isn't even a part of the game. I love to do this all the time. I like to create round builds. I love to create just different things in this game. So this is also fun, but I really like when a pack has a cool world, matching objects, a cool idea behind it, and you can just start building and everything comes along and you just have the best time ever. And I feel like this is the case here, even though I feel like it's definitely not for everyone, because not everyone is into like supernatural stuff. Some people prefer realistic gameplay, realistic family gameplay maybe. So I get that this is not for everyone, but I also think that a lot of people really love this because not only is this pack really well made, but it's also such a cool theme. And vampires are just such a cool pack as well. And werewolves just belong to vampires. You just need werewolves when you have vampires. So I feel like finally it's like complete. And this was really important to a lot of people. And here I'm decorating the outside of the trailer a bit. So this is the third trailer. I used the wallpaper from Eco Lifestyle. It looks like the wall of a container. I used the exterior trim from Get Famous and the column from the new pack. And these swatches just matched perfectly. So I have this beautiful orange, almost rusty looking color in combination with the wallpaper from the new pack. And it just looks perfect. I always say that I wish that the swatches would all match perfectly, and in this case they really did, and it was just so perfect. I used the terrain paint to create the look of a pass, again really run down, not really particular or something. I just used the terrain paint and had a go at it, and you can see this trailer like here in the background, the silver one. This is just a debug object from Strangerville. I just wanted to decorate the background a bit. The only functional trailers are the 3 that I built myself, so this is just a bit of decoration in the background. I also placed the planting pots from the new pack. There are new ones in the Werewolves pack. I think there's a new plant that you can grow, and it does some things. I have to admit, I didn't dive into gameplay, I'm just building, but there's like a new plant, a new fruit that is important for the werewolf, so I guess that's why we got some new planting pots probably. And I wanted to have this giant fireplace in the center, so there's a place where everyone can just kind of come together, so it really feels like a community. When I created the suburban community recently, I wanted to have a playground and a park. So this would also be a place where Sims could come together, even though they live in different houses. And I wanted to do the same here. So I really wanted to have the fireplace and the Sims can just meet and come together. Also, in case you're wondering how you could use this lot, there are different ways to do this. You could either create a big Sim family, and you could then assign Sims to different trailers or houses, and you could lock the doors so no one can enter the trailers, which is also why I think it's super important to have some type of community space or the patio so the Sims can really hang out, have a barbecue, have a chat and everything. But you could also use the roommate feature. I think it was introduced when Equalize Style came out, but I'm not too sure. I think it's also part of the base game. I think they patched it in, I'm not too sure, but there's a roommate feature. So it's essentially you create a Sim family. You move in, you pick a trailer in this case, you lock the door, and then you can find random roommates and they are just going to move in. These will be random Sims that you cannot control, which I think is super exciting because probably some exciting stories happen and unfold when you have some Sims on the lot that you can't control. Maybe even like finding a partner for your Sims. You just have some random Sims hanging around and you don't have to like go to the park or the restaurant to meet a new Sim. When I used to play, I mean now I'm just building, but when I used to play, I always enjoyed to find a partner for my Sim. I would sometimes just create one Sim and let them have like a small house or apartment or something, and then I would go to find someone they could meet like on a public place like a park or something. And I never really liked if my Sim got together with someone who's like a well-known townie. I always loved when there was like a random Sim spawning and I was just trying to find out if they would vibe and get along, and this was always so much fun. And then I wanted to see what their kids would look like and stuff. I always really loved this and I had so much fun. Like this is like such a cool thing, and I just had to think of this because here you just wait who moves in and if it just works out for your Sim or not. Yeah, I'm once again decorating. So this is like a really small trailer and there's one here as well, and this is the double bed that made me expand the build one tile. And this bed was kind of tricking me because it looks really compact, but after all the footprint was still quite big and it would block my Sim's path, and I just had to make this bigger. So the bedroom on the left side is one tile bigger in the uploaded version in the gallery, because when I was playtesting this I just couldn't make it work. Like I just couldn't. And yeah, there are Simmers out there squeezing all the furniture onto a 4-tile build, and I don't know how they do it, and I admire it so much. But here like my Sims don't even know how to get into the bed. I don't know. It's like really difficult to build small builds. I always said this. And yeah, this video is slowly coming to an end. I hope that you enjoyed this build. I hope that you like this trailer park. You can grab this from the gallery and let your Sims move in. My ID is KateEmerald, and you can also grab the trail files from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons. A big thank you to Misty, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Miku GDJ, Saturated Spark, Shannon McClam, Telena Lynn, Stephen, and Tina Turner. Thank you so much for your huge support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons, and thank you to anyone who's watching my videos. I love you all so much. I hope you will have the best day, and I hope your Sims might enjoy this build, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Oh.